Computer. All right, wonderful. Well, hello and welcome to you. Again, if you are here to watch the Activate Academy, this is a monthly consultant training that we do, and we collaborate with other leaders across LifeVantage to bring you the top tricks and tips and anything and everything that we feel that's going to help you move the needle and create momentum in your business. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. We are happy to have you. If you are returning, welcome back. We're so happy to have you. Please know that this is recorded. This is then uploaded to the Team Legacy YouTube channel. So this episode, along with past episodes, are all available for you to be able to watch replay or share with team members or anyone who may not have been able to go ahead and join us today. Okay. So first and foremost, I usually like to start out with a story, but I want to just kind of set the stage. All right. We have two incredible dynamic ladies that I'm super pumped for you guys to meet today. But as they start talking about it, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever like wanted to start a conversation with someone about LifeVantage, but didn't really know how to bring it up and it kind of felt awkward? And you're like, what? What do I do? And then other times maybe you're super excited about this business, but you're not really sure how to explain it, but explain it like in a simple way, okay? Without maybe like throwing up all over people. We say too much sometimes. Or you've watched others actually growing in this business and you're wondering maybe what it is that they're doing differently, and maybe what you could be doing differently in order to move the needle. Well, if you've thought any of those questions and more, when you think about the system, inviting and following up, overcoming objections, creating those conversations, then this Activate Academy is going to be for you. Okay. So, first things first, I always like to open up with a story. I think it really kind of sets the stage when we think about being in the right mindset for this type of training. And so the story I'm going to share with you today, it's about someone who didn't wait for the perfect time. Can you relate to that? Right? He literally built what he needed to alongside real life. And so what I like to do is I don't tell you who it is up front. All right. So I kind of tell you a little bit about the stories. Feel free to drop your ideas in the comments as we go through this story, if you think you know who it is. But so here's our story for the day. Let's, again, if you are not on mute, please feel free to take a moment to mute yourself. I really would appreciate it. That would be awesome. So first, again, I'm going to tell you about someone who started with very, very little. Do you know anybody who might be started with very little, but built something that would eventually become a global brand? Global brand. Okay. Now it's a he. His story is about resourcefulness, resilience, and doing whatever it takes, even when the odds don't look great. Okay. So now some of you may already know him today as one of the investors in a popular show where entrepreneurs pitch their ideas. There's another hit. But his story started a long time ago. Maybe you'll even guess who it is before the end of this. Now, he grew up in Queens, New York, raised by a single mother. Okay. Kudos to all you single parents out there. So money was super tight. So he learned from a really, really young age the value of hard work. Okay. And instead of taking a traditional path, he actually enrolled in a program that allowed him to work a full-time job while going to school. Okay. And getting real world experience early on. Okay. Now, but what was interesting is that his big opportunity really didn't start for him in an office. Some people kind of work their way up and they had those opportunities present themselves. That wasn't the case. For him, it actually started in his house. Back in the early 1990s, they had an idea to create clothing that represented the culture around him, something authentic and something different. Now, with no investors, okay, no investors, no big backing, little to no money, he began sewing hats at home. He was sewing hats at home in his garage. He didn't quit his job. He couldn't afford to do that. And he didn't wait for the perfect moment to start. Okay. He worked at restaurants during the day and he built his vision at night. Can any of you relate to that here in your LifeVantage business? At one point, he even mortgaged his home to keep things going. Wow, talk about a risky move. Okay. But he believed so much in his vision and his passion. Okay. He pitched his idea to people. He looked for opportunities and he tried to get others to believe in what he was building, just like you and your business. But most people didn't see his vision, and he heard the word no over and over again. The truth was is that it took years, years, not weeks, not months. It took years of him grinding away before anything even really started to catch on. Years of working, years of testing, and years of being told no. Okay. How long have you been in this business? Feel free to drop it in the comments how long you've been in this business and how long have you been hearing the word no while trying to share with people what we have. But the really cool part was that in the mid 90s, he finally got a break. He got his big break and he secured a major order with a big retailer. Now, everything, of course, at that point started to shift for him. And from there, the business didn't just grow, it scaled really, really quickly. And within a few years of the breakthrough, he made his first $1 million. Who here wants to make $1 million in LifeVantage? Say aye. But it wasn't overnight. Keep that in mind. It came after all the unseen work, all the consistency, all the moments where quitting actually would have been easier, right? Sometimes just walking away feels like the easiest thing to do. But by 1998, that same brand, the one that started with him sewing hats at home, was doing hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. And that same man, the one who was once hearing no and figuring it out, as he went, is now someone many people recognize from Shark Tank. Shark Tank. Yes, if you haven't figured it out already, we are talking about Daymond John. He is the creator and founder of the clothing brand FUBU. Now he is an American entrepreneur. He is an investor. He's written several books. He's a motivational speaker, right? But I want you to think about that. I shared this story with you because, like Daymond, many of you are building this alongside real life. Yes? Drop a one in the chat if you are someone who is building this alongside real life. This is not your primary gig, right? You are still living life. You've got another job, family, other responsibilities. You have jobs, families, responsibilities, and sometimes it can feel like you just don't have enough time, or you don't have enough resources, or maybe you don't have enough experience. Okay. But his story is a reminder to you that you don't need perfect conditions to build something meaningful. You don't need to quit everything and start over. And you certainly don't need to have it all figured out. What you need is consistency. And what you need is the willingness to show up and take action, just like you chose to do today. Okay, so give yourselves a pat on the back for making that decision to be here on a Saturday, because not everyone made that same decision. The people who win in this business aren't always the most talented. That's the reality. The ones who keep going when it would be easier to stop. So, as we were talking about our training today, I just want to remind you that you can build extraordinary things in the margins of your life, in the nooks and crannies of conversations and connections. And you can create that moment with small, consistent action. And just like him, what starts small, if you stay with it, it can turn into something far bigger. Yes? Yes or yes. All right, you guys. I love those stories. I love just kind of, I want people to realize like we know people once they've already become famous, but we forget about the work and the grind that happens behind the scenes to be able to get them to where they are. Oh, look at Barbara. It looks like she already, let's see here. Yes, so Sheldon can, or Tanya's going to be able to sign. So, real quickly, of course, I want to go ahead and introduce to you to our two incredible speakers today. We have executives Tanya Sheldon and Dawn Burrs. And I've had the pleasure to get to know these ladies. For those of you who don't know me, I guess I probably should have shared. My name is Holly Highfield, and I'm actually coming to you live from Sarasota, Florida. My husband Brian and I have been in this company for 14 years. Yes, March is our 14-year anniversary with LifeVantage. We had no prior experience in this industry. So if you think that you have to have had experience, you don't. Okay. You just have to have a hunger and a desire to want to make a change, and be willing to take the action necessary to follow the system, right? Be coachable and willing to grow And I promise you, there's enough of us here that are steering you in the right direction and cheering you on so that you can have the level of success that you want to have. And so, what I wanted to share is just give you a little bit of background on these ladies, and then I'm going to turn it over to them. I love, first of all, that the two of them are sitting together here today in order to present. Normally, we have folks calling in from different places, and they get to sit side by side. They're in each other's backyards, and I think that's fantastic. So, first, just real quick, Tanya Sheldon, I'm just going to do a quick bio read for you guys. She, of course, is a wife and mom of three beautiful, gorgeous girls. And she's proof that courage doesn't require confidence, just making a decision. Okay. After careers in retail management, marketing, and mortgage, she found herself as a stay-at-home mom wrestling with a quiet question: is this all there is for me? Okay. In 2011, she said yes to LifeVantage, terrified. Any of you maybe were scared, nervous, apprehensive when you made the decision to join? Yes, insecure, but she was coachable. She didn't join because she felt capable. She joined because she felt called to do so. It weighed on her heart. Okay. So today, as an executive consultant, Tanya's real passion isn't product or position, it's people. And I can tell you that that is 100% the truth. Again, I've known this incredible woman. I've watched her grow over time, both personally through this business as well as on social media. And I just have loved to watch her really blossom into the incredible woman that she is today. And she truly is a people person, and she is there for you to help you lead with heart and come from the right place with nothing but incredible intentions. So she believes leadership is a multiplication, and nothing fills her more than helping women step up into their strength that they didn't already know that they had. And obviously, she didn't just build a business. She built belief. I mean, I think we all can agree that belief is one of those things that really is what's going to fuel us to continue to move forward, even if things aren't quite going the way that we would like them to. And so, and the incredible Dawn Burrs, she is a lifelong South Dakotan, married to her husband, Frank. Together, they have raised now three adult children, having owned many brick and mortar businesses. So she has that traditional business experience and background. And she actually started in network marketing as a career over 10 years ago. So again, we're talking about women who have decades of experience in this industry and with us here at LifeVantage. She loved the business model and why she had a successful interior design career. She was actually hooked right away with LifeVantage. This is her third company, you guys. She has experience, okay? So she's seen what the grass looks like in the other yard. Dawn has been on Protandim for many years, but it was the collagen, interestingly enough, that excited her the most. And in July of 2022, with the launch of the True Science Collagen, she began her career with LifeVantage. She earned the rank of executive consultant in just under 2 years, and her My Life venture in under 3. What an incredible accomplishment. Her favorite thing about this industry is helping people achieve more than they thought that was possible and grow with the help of personal development. And, to be honest, I don't know Dawn at the same level that I know Tanya, but I will also tell you what I have gotten to know about Dawn is she's like this, I feel like she's this quiet force, right? She just has this quietness and softness and warmness about her. But oh my gosh, you get that girl fired up and she is just ready to go. She truly has this energy and drive to want to help and see other people succeed. And like things we have in common, she wants to help people believe in themselves before they do. And it's pretty magical when you can get people to start believing in themselves and they're accomplishing things that they're like, oh my gosh, I never thought that I could do that, right? So thank you again, Tanya and Dawn. Everyone, feel free to say hello to them in the chat. I'm going to keep watching the chat while these ladies take us away. And I'm going to look to try to answer your questions, but let's keep this engaging and as energetic as possible. Yes. And please don't be afraid to turn on your cameras. All right. We love to see your smiling faces and show up. I think that says a lot about your intention for today as well. So I'm going to stop talking. Boom, done. Tanya and Dawn, feel free to take it away.
Thank you so much. Holly, it's as if you saw our slideshow before before we started today. It's so perfect, everything that you said. We were saying how
Mhm.
much we love that you started that way. You guys, we're so excited to be here, and it's going to be fun today because of the fact that we are here.
Mhm.
It's going to be a lot of tag teaming. I don't really know what you're in for, but we've got a slideshow to keep us on track. And our intent, the whole story that we want to unfold for you today, is to equip you to have the tools that you need to literally do what Holly talked about, to be consistent in your actions to build your business. So you're going to hear a lot of stories, you're going to be given a lot of scripts, and we're excited to be here.
I think you want to make sure, like Holly mentioned, to have a pen and paper ready. We're going to be dropping a lot of good stuff on you today. And do not be afraid to take screenshots of the slides. There's a few things we'll be sharing at the end. We have a QR code, but mostly let's have fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Okay, so what's the word that we all love to hear? And this is the word we want to start with is momentum, right? So what actually is momentum and how can you create it? Momentum, the best way we think is for you to think of MOM, MOM. And so momentum, if you think of MOM, that is month over month growth. Momentum is something that we don't want you to think you can't wait on LifeVantage to create momentum. You cannot wait on your upline to create momentum. Momentum starts with you and the activity that you put in, not something you wait for. It's something that you create.
You don't need, one second, you don't need another product. You don't need corporate to run another incentive. You don't need to get to the next event. Momentum happens right now. It's a choice and it's a decision. But one thing that you're going to want to do is start tracking. So here's what we want you to track. Write this down because if you're not already tracking it, you're going to want to start today. You need to track sales volume. We're going to keep it really basic. Group sales volume and enrollments, both customer and consultants, because customers add to your business and consultants multiply. The next thing you're going to want to track is conversations. This momentum starts with you. It's when your business grows, when you start the conversations. So you're going to track how many conversations you're having. And I would suggest starting, like, make a daily goal. Tanya, do you have a daily goal for conversations?
Yeah, 100%. I like to go 5 to 10, 5 to 10 a day.
And then how do you track that?
I track it through, well, we'll show you on the next slide. But one thing that I have is I have a daily DMO, but I also have a binder. And in my binder, it's separated by month, so January through December. And in that binder, I have blank, loosely paper under every month. And that is where I track my numbers. That is where I take my notes for the month. That is where I have my DMO for the month so that I could always have something to reference back to. So I just like having it all in one place, and I still like pen to paper.
I love pen to paper too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna adapt what you're doing. I haven't been doing it that way, but I love a binder that's
Hmm.
positioned month by month because that allows you to go back and follow up
Right.
and see what happened. The
Yep.
other thing that I really like about that, we didn't even talk about this, but this just made me think of this. When I was building in my previous company, I built to the top of that company. And the year that I built to the top of that company, I kept track of the metrics that I just told you, like SV, GSV enrollments. I kept track of that on like the 15th, the 20th, and the 25th. And that was a roadmap for my team members. So I knew what it took to get to the top of the compensation plan. And then when I had team members wanting to do the same thing, I pulled out that old planner and I was like, look,
Mhm.
this is what we're going to do. And we would get to like the 15th of the month and she'd be like, it's not going to work. I'm not there. I don't have the volume. And I was like, no, but I didn't either. And so this, we're going to get some activity, we're going to do some follow up, we're going to do all the things, but it left that roadmap so that the people that came after me could do what I had done. And that was gold.
Yeah. I love this because we're going to also give you some scripts for follow-up, help you just with words that work to help you stay in motion and feel like you're equipped with what you need to continue those conversations. And again, like it says, the only thing you can control in this business is your own personal productivity. But the one thing I want to say to that too is when you are tracking your business and you're going for momentum, you guys, it should not be neat and tidy. This is when your office is a mess. You've got sticky
We're not
notes
turning the camera
everywhere.
around. This is my office. We're not showing them.
But no, it literally should look messy because you're in so much motion and you're having so much fun. Nothing else matters. You're not thinking about the cleanliness of your office. You're only thinking about the fact that you are in motion, you are creating connections, and you are having so much fun. So I love that. So this is a tool that we will give you, and I'll put the PDF in the chat here, but this is a DMO that we have that we thought is as simple as it possibly can be. And it's truly about connections. It's sending birthday messages to people. It's new reach outs that you have started. It's reach outs from posts that you have done, even from stories. And then it's follow-ups that you've done as well. And then of course, taking your LifeVantage products and personal development. But all 4 of these boxes literally give you a way for you to track the people that you're talking to.
Okay, what I love about this screen here is that the box that says follow up is just as big as the box that says reach outs and new reach outs. Okay, so I want to tell a story.
Do it.
Stories are my favorite. So we have a team member on our team who had a red carpet this week at corporate. And so we were cheering her on and talking about that. And do you guys know what? She followed up with that person for 3 years. I think so often in this business, we hear no and we assume it's never, when most of the time it's just not now. So make sure that you're taking the time to follow up. That follow up is just as important as the initial reach out, because number one, that shows people you're serious about what you're doing. It's not just like this little hobby that you have. This is a mission that you're on to impact lives. And if you're not following up and treating this like a legit business with importance and all of the things that are what are going to help you build that solid business, but help them have a transformation too, follow-up is just as important as the initial reach out. So who are you following up with? Who have you spent 3 years building a relationship with? We're going to bring you scripts here in just a little bit that helps you to have these conversations easy. But who loves the idea of setting that standard of follow-up?
Yeah, getting back to this too. I mean, truly like what Dawn is saying, you guys, we want to like shift your perspective in how you're doing your business. We don't want this to be a transactional, mechanical thing. That is not fun. We want this to be like, I am working from the place of my calling, knowing that I have a gift on my hands and I have to share this with the world, because if I don't, I'm wasting what has been given to me. So back to what Holly told you, it's like, have you ever wanted to start a conversation, but you didn't know how to bring it up naturally? We're going to go over that. Have you ever felt excited about this business, but you're not sure how to explain it? When someone says, what do you do? What are you saying to them? Do you get stuck? Do you over explain? Do you think you have to be someone that you're not? And then watched others grow and wondered what they're doing differently. We'll wrap that all up at the end. All right. So what are you looking for? This is basically family. These are my 2 girls, and then I have a bonus daughter as well that lives in Virginia. So when we talk about what are you looking for, the reason we want to hit home on this is, who are you looking for in your business? Are you just trying to put information out there, go out into the world and just see who comes to you? Or do you have intention with who you actually want to work with and do life with and do this business with? So these are some questions that you could ask yourself. Who was I 1 to 3 years ago, right? What was I struggling with back then? What was I searching for or needing? And for this picture, it reminds me that I am on the verge of that empty nesting, and it's hard. It's so hard.
That's me in 6 months.
Yeah, see, it's not an easy transition, because now I am this woman working from home with my husband every single day. And I am like, again, wondering, okay, Tanya, like, what's the next level of you? How are you going to make this happen? So I know for me, That is the woman I'm looking for. I am looking for that woman that is middle aged, that is
I'm right
empty
here.
nesting or about there. Yeah, be on my team, dog. And that's the woman I want to speak to when I do my social media. That's who I want to be looking for. So ask yourself, where were you 1 to 3 years ago? Or where are you right now in your life? And don't be afraid to share those stories, those authentic, real stories of what you're going through real time, because nothing creates conversation better than your authenticity of what you're going through right now. Okay, so Dawn, how about you?
I think it's just really good to talk to the person that you're naturally attracted to. Who do you like to be around? And I'm talking, I tend to build a lot on social media. So for me, it's like my friend Jenny and I here in this picture. Like this is what imaging looks like for me, but this is what we call attraction marketing. Like who do I already easily have conversations with? That's who I want to open my conversations up to. That's who I'm looking for to build this business with. I just love to have fun. I think this is such an industry where you can really lean in and have such a great time with people. Those are the people I want to build this with. What kind of personalities energize me versus drain me? These are questions we're going to give you, like how you figure out who you are. Because sometimes that's the hardest part. Like, who am I talking to? What do I want my messaging to look like? That's sometimes the hardest thing. We just start throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. But we're going to give you a simple method today to kind of bring down that messaging and get really clear on who you're talking to. I'm right behind Tanya. So her messaging would be something that really means something to me because what she went through just a year or 2 years ago,
Mhm. 2 years ago.
2 years ago is what our family's about to go through this year. So think about how that could be such an attraction piece and it would, inspire me to want to do what she's doing. I don't know that it's LifeVantage, right? I just
Mhm.
want to talk to her like a friend
Mhm.
because she's been through what I'm about to go through. And we create that common ground, we create that connection. Naturally, we bring up LifeVantage because that's what she does,
Mhm.
right? And this is how you build that conversation. This is how you build those connections. It's with those people that you have that commonality with and that you easily can speak to. This is how the business is built.
Yeah. We're going to hit it home with you guys right now.
In life to help people, the person that you used to be. When my dad got sober, I thought many, many times someone literally saved my family, like literally changed my entire life. Some precious human did. I found him. I know who he is now that helped my dad get sober on a night, by the way, when my dad was going to take his own life. What qualified him to help my dad was not how perfect he was, the amazing life he had lived. Quite the contrary. What qualified him to save my dad's life was that he was also a drug addict, also an alcoholic, also a liar, also living in the shadows. And because he did that and changed his life, he was qualified to help another man who was a drug addict and an alcoholic at that time. That's where most people don't really understand their own greatness. They think the mistakes they've made, their divorce, their bankruptcy, their sin, their maybe it's not even any of those things. Maybe it's just they've always been average. They think, well, that disqualifies me. When in fact, it's what qualifies you to help other people.
You guys, it is going to be the real you that's going to impact lives. It's the struggles, it's the truth of where you've been, or maybe where you're at right now. That is what is going to be that attraction piece for you. That is what's going to turn this business into a job, from a job into a passion. It's going to be sharing that piece that sometimes is hard to share. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes we aren't proud of that piece of us. But what if you could inspire one person to change your life? What if you could inspire a whole team of people to up level their life, change their lives, lock arms with you, and take this business to the next level? It is not about the products. When it's 100% about the products, that is not what we're here to do. We don't need infomercials. There's plenty of those. We need to be authentically who we are, tell our stories, and see where that takes us.
I was just thinking like bankruptcy. I mean, we had to file bankruptcy early on into our marriage. And I'm like, I don't know the last time I talked about that. Like, I need to bring that up again. It's humiliating and it's so scary. And you're trying to do something to get out from this heaviness that you're living in. And yet, when it happens, you feel a little bit freer, but in that moment of doing it. So, anyway,
Wow.
if that triggered anything in you, and you feel like, wow, I haven't talked about that, please make a mental note right now to create that story and bring that out. And you don't always have to get super personable, but sometimes there are things that like just really are going to make people see you in a different way and make you more more relatable, more approachable.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, so now we're going to transition and we're going to transition into avatar. And this is getting even more clear on who you're looking for. We really want to funnel in on this because, again, we have to stop trying to find everyone and we've got to start getting clear on someone. Clarity creates confidence in your conversations. So, getting clear on your person changes everything. Instead of wondering who might say yes, you begin looking for the people who are already searching for what you've found. Your avatar is simply the type of person that you naturally connect with, right? That person that you were like 1 to 3 years ago. So we want to really take a lot of notes here because this screen basically is showing you what Dawn and I did is we went to chat, good old chat. And we use chat a lot in our business. So chat knows us very well. And we said, chat, give us our avatar. And it also named our person. So my person is Heather. And I know that Heather is that woman. I'm going to tell you, you guys, exactly how clear it made it for me.
So good.
You have to do this. So chat said to me, I have to read this to you. Okay. So it gives me a day in the life of Heather. She grabs her coffee. She scrolls through her phone for a few minutes. She sees other women thriving and she feels a mix of inspired and behind. She's managing a home, maybe a job. Her kids are older or leaving. Her marriage is fine, but not as connected as it once was. She thinks I need to do something for me, but then it goes right back into taking care of everyone else. It gives me her pain points, her desires, and then it created content pillars and words that work that I can use to talk to Heather on my social media. So if you are not using chat, there is a free version for you to use. And I just want you go to chat and like a diary, get into chat and start telling chat who you are, where you struggle, where you thrive, what you love to do. If you love knitting, tell it you love knitting. If you love cooking, tell it you love cooking and just say, I am also growing a direct selling business and I'm looking for people to grow it with. Who is my avatar? Who am I looking for? And help me to learn how to speak to her.
If you're not using chat now, this is what I would suggest you do today. Download Chat GPT. You can use the free version. I prefer the paid version because I use it all day, every day. But I want you to download it. And then I want you to use the microphone. And today, this is your job. You tell chat everything it needs to know about you. You just dump it all in chat because that is going to help it hone its responses so that it knows you. That is how ChatGPT knew that Tanya was looking for Heather, and chat knew the pain points, and chat knew what to say to her to help her find her Heather. And so now, because we work as accountability partners, cross line, and she's in my backyard, right? But I'm not intimidated because she's looking for Heather and I'm looking for Vivian. Is that who it was? I'm looking for Vivian. So we're not looking for the same people. The same people aren't going to find us. But because we're clear in who we're looking for and our messaging, the right people are going to find us. And that's how everything changes. So you can see my personal avatar, lots of things about that person, right? And it's common connections that her and I would have and things that we could talk about together. But ChatGPT knew this about me because this is a conversation I'm having with chat all day, every day, right? And so Vivian, I've never met a Vivian. I do actually know a Vivian. She's like 16 or 17.
Okay.
So in a year, I could recruit her.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, so this is who we're looking for, right? And so often we just feel like, gosh, I just want to grow this big and fast, and I need all the people as soon as possible. And no, you don't. You need just a couple of people to lock arms with, have a ton of fun with, and build this business together. And so getting really clear on that messaging is going to be the best thing you can do. Chat needs to know the top 5 to 10 things about you. It needs to know your pain points. It needs to know where you've been and where you're going and how you want to get there. Because then it can help you really figure out who it is you're looking for and that messaging that you can create. I mean, would you just love it if you could pull up your chat GPT and it said the content for Tanya to create, these are your content pillars, okay? It even gave a script. Why your body isn't broken, it's just asking for something different. That doesn't say I take Protandim and collagen and PED4 and Mind Body and I use the shampoo and I wash my face and all these things. It's called attraction marketing. It is using those keywords. That's the other quick tip I would tell you right now. When you're using Chat GPT, put in there, please give me Instagram keywords for this message and 5 trending hashtags. It will do all the hard work for you. You don't have to spend hours and hours, especially if you're doing this business in the nooks and crannies of your life. You need to save time and honestly, brain space, because you're a wife and you're a mom and you're a business owner and you're all of these things. But what if you could free up a little bit of that brain space by just saying, hey, chat, give me the trending audio, give me these keywords that are going to land in people's inboxes. Vivian is going to find me because it's going to land in her For You page, which whatever, doesn't matter what that is, but it's going to show up on her feed because I'm speaking to her. I'm using the words that she's searching for.
Here's the thing too. And
I love this.
Thanks, Barbara.
What'd you say?
Great.
Barbara's loving it. That's okay.
Cute.
We want to hear it. We want to hear it. I mean,
yes.
people are talking about it in the
love
chat.
that, Barbara.
They're loving what you guys are sharing. This is fantastic. Truly taking lots of notes myself even. So keep going. Love it.
Love it.
Resting in this a little bit more. This is, well, it is what it is. And then Dawn's going to share a parable that matches with this. But you guys, I was traveling to the East Coast for the Activated whatever tour earlier this year. So I know my person, right? And I know the woman that I want to work with. And like, I'm just very dialed into that. And because I'm dialed into that, I like to think that I don't hesitate if I see her, but I did. Here's what happened. We're in this great grocery store on the East Coast. Marcy Steiner wants to share it with me. We're there. Marcy walks us up to this place where a woman's making cookies, and Marcy's going to show Dr. Kat and I how to prospect. So she's talking to this woman that's icing cookies, starting these conversations, just getting to know her. But while we are standing there, a woman walks right up, right next to me and just says hi. And you guys, this was one of my women. It was one of my people. I know it with everything in me. And I froze. And I just kind of looked at her. I'm like, hi. I go, are you here to get cookies? And she's like, no, I just kind of wanted to see what was going on. And in my head, a million conversations are happening in milliseconds, knowing that I should open my mouth and talk to her more. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, Marcy and Dr. Kat took off and I don't live here. So I'm just going to go back to them and say, oh, well, and I said, have a great day. And I did nothing. I did nothing. And to this day, it haunts me. It haunts me. If I would have just opened my mouth and shared a conversation with her, and all I had to do was compliment her and say, like, why did you come up here? Like, you just look so amazing. And I could have even that moment said, why did you come stand right next to me? Like, do you know who I'm looking for? Do you know what I do? Do you know how much you exemplify everything that I'm looking for? Do you keep your options open when it comes to making other streams of money? That's all I had to do. And I froze. And so this is why it is so important that you know without a doubt who you want to be working with. So Dawn has this amazing parable that goes with this.
I don't think you're ever going to forget that story.
Never.
But listen to this. When Tanya was telling me this story, I was like, Tanya, that's the parable of the drowning man, which I didn't know the name of the parable at the time, but I asked Chat to bring it back to me, right? So here it is. We're never going to forget this, and we're not going to be Tanya.
No.
Tanya. So a man is stuck on his roof during a flood. As the water rises, he keeps praying for God to save him. A neighbor comes by in a truck and offers help. He says, "No thanks. God will save me." A boat comes by. He refuses again. A helicopter lowers a ladder and he refuses again. Eventually, he drowns. When he gets to heaven, he asks God, "Why didn't you save me?" And God responds, "I sent a truck, a boat, and a helicopter. What more did you expect?" You guys, that was the boat. The truck and the helicopter. Right in your lap.
You guys,
We all have that story.
yes. In a world of where we are today, like we cannot allow opportunities like that to pass us by. We just cannot allow that to happen. So as we transition, next we're going to go into, okay, what do I say when someone asks, what do I do? This is like the biggest thing that can hold us back. But here's the thing. When someone asks you, what do you do? This should not, honestly, it should not be about the science of a product, LifeVantage as a company. This needs to be about you and your heart and why you are here. So, and this can change given circumstances, right? So, for instance, I went to a networking event yesterday and I knew, I'm like, okay, what am I going to be saying today when these women come up to me and ask what I do? And all I want it when someone asks what I do is to have like this opening phrase that can then lead into my story. So it's so important you have your story dialed in as well. And I'll go quickly through like how I share my story. But when I was asked in this networking event, what do I do? My response was I help women regain their health and vitality in the second phase of life and then help them make a business out of it if they see the potential. And when that happened, I had one woman say to me, wow. She's like, okay, well then what's next for you? Like, how did you get into that? Tell me more about that. And then I shared my story. I said, well, back in 2011, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I just knew that God had more for me outside being a wife and a mother, and I was very open. Because of my husband's health issues, a product came my way that changed his life, and I saw opportunity in it, and I jumped on board. It changed his life, and I've been doing it ever since. That was it, right? And then that always leads to more conversation. They always want to ask more questions, but then in that moment, it's about, you know, everything's really busy here right now, but if you'd like more information, let's exchange numbers. You don't ever just give them yours. That's fear. That is fear of it's safer if I just give them my number and then I'm not attached. You exchange, you do the bold thing. You get their information and you can follow up with that. But again, if I'm in like a networking event like that, it's going to be more of a one-word answer when they ask what I do. If I'm sitting with someone at a coffee and it's one-on-one and they're like, tell me more about what you do, I go right into my story. And then I make it more about like in 2011, stay-at-home mom looking for opportunity. A friend shared an ABC investigative report with me that showed after 30 days they couldn't distinguish the blood between an 80-year-old and a 20-year-old. You guys, every time I share that, their jaw drops open and I look at them and I go, I know, right? I get to make a business out of that. Like they're just in awe of it. So my story becomes more of what do I do when it's a one-on-one situation and I know I have time with them. And here's another quick story that I want to share with you of why it's so important to know your person. So there was a gentleman that I probably should have shared this earlier, but I went to his conference and he talked about vision boards. And on his vision board, he knew that he wanted to catch a certain fish. Okay. He had a picture of this fish on his board. You have a mental image of the person you want to work with. Well, because he was so dialed into that image, he was at a grocery store and behind him, he was able to dial into the conversation behind him. And he overheard fishing, and it led, long story short, it led to him turning around, having conversation with those people. He got to go fishing with them to a location that helped him find that fish. he would have never been open to the key words and phrases they were saying had he not been dialed into what he wanted for his life. It would have been something that he tuned out, but he tuned in because he knew what he wanted.
Which led us to having the conversation. Last year, I was able to earn my life venture. And I don't know if you can see this, Holly, if you can tell us. This was the vision board that hung in my bathroom. Every single day I saw this, my life venture. I saw the elephants for Africa. I saw time with friends and family. But this happened. Like even these guitars right here, my husband went nuts at a fundraiser and bought 4 signed guitars. Like this, I manifested that. That was my fault. I can't be mad at him. But this hung in our bathroom the whole year that before we earned it. And the crazy thing was, we earned my life venture in March. Oh my gosh, that was a year ago.
Oh.
Wow. And I had this book. This was a vision book I had created years ago. I would suggest maybe a board and a book. I have lots of things on the mirror in my bathroom, but I love a book, and I have a book for this year too. And I have just lots and lots of things. So anyways, I had made this book probably 5 years prior to earning my life venture. And I was cleaning one day in April a year ago, and I found this book, and I was like, oh, fun. And let's see what's happened. And I was just paging through the books, and I turned the page, you guys, and this was on one of the pages. Like, you can't make this up. This white Jeep was just sitting there from 5 years ago. And now this Jeep is in my garage. So, like, you can make anything you want come to life. And I really think you should, right? Don't
Yeah.
you think? Like, hello, the fish.
Well, and I want to say
How
real
does
quick
that
too,
happen?
like that vision board, it's a big poster board in this book. Dawn's an interior designer, you guys. Do you think she really wants that in her bathroom?
No.
No, she likes style. Again, your vision and going for momentum can be messy. It doesn't have to, it's not perfect. It is not perfect.
For sure. And I'll post today. This will lead into what I want to talk about. So I'll post today on my Instagram in the stories what is on my mirror in my bathroom, and I read it every single day. And so I would encourage you to do something similar. It doesn't have to be obnoxious. It can be one word that reminds you of who you are every single morning. But you have to do it. Like, this is how you make those moves in your business. Because what if you set a goal for yourself that you were going to create 10 new conversations today? Well, this is what I do. I do LifeVantage. So I don't leave my house. Nobody's knocking on my door and like, hey, what do you do? I have to create those conversations, whether it's like at a networking event like Tanya shared she went to, or online. I create a lot of conversations online. And so what if you couldn't go to bed tonight until you created 10 new conversations?
Do it.
Write those people's names down and then track your progress, track your follow-up, see the percent of people that you have, or the number of people you have to talk to until you get a yes. It's probably going to be industry standard, about 1 in 10. Get that conversation going. Ask ChatGPT what to do. I promise you, you are probably making this way too hard. In fact, if I wanted to talk to Tanya about LifeVantage, this is what I would do. I would go to Instagram and I would screenshot her page. Then I would take that screenshot into ChatGPT and I would say, help me start a conversation with Tanya about LifeVantage. From there, I would ask Chat like, no, that's too much, or that's too little. I think we could find common ground on the empty nester thing, or I think we could find common ground on both living in Sioux Falls, or like I would just keep asking Chat. It's free. So I just talk to Chat all day long. Well, I have the paid version, which I would suggest if you want to use it this way, but I just keep dialing it down to where I want it to be. And that is how I created these scripts. These are the scripts that I use in conversations with people on social media I do not know. But I go and I look for people in New Zealand. And I go and I look for people in Australia. And I go and I look for people in the markets that we are open in. And I have these conversations. And I say things like, wow, I love your profile. Like, I feel like we have a lot of things in common. I've actually been working in the wellness industry for about 10 years now. And for the last several years, I partnered with what I truly believe is one of the most clinically validated wellness companies in the world. Would you be open to taking a look? I have a lady right now that I'm talking to in New Zealand. You guys, New Zealand has 750 consultants. That's it. That is like ground floor. In fact, in the town that I'm talking to her in, there's about 7.
Mm.
And she wrote me back and she said, I'm always open to taking a look. So now she's on my list and I can follow up with her. I sent her just a short video. I sent her the 2-minute activation video, which I think that video is gold. It is on our website, it's on our YouTube and all the places, but I sent her that video and now it gives me the opportunity to follow up with her. So one hot tip I want to leave with you is find that common ground. This lady does not know me and I don't know her. And the other thing is like, it's not very scary to have that conversation because the chances are, just like this girl that when you were in New England, you could have like exchanged numbers with. I feel like that woman's going to find you because I think that's how the world works. And I think God will bring you back together. But I'm going to pray for that. But if they don't respond to me, they don't know what I do. They don't know where I live. They don't know who I am. They're just going to be like, later, loser. They're not going to be embarrassed or annoyed with me or whatever because I'm working to find my people. And what we have to offer people is a blessing. Such a massive blessing. There's so much opportunity. So I don't make it weird. I get to my point. I'm not going to be all fluffy and weird. And as often as possible, pick up your phone and be like, hey, Holly, I was just on your Facebook. Like, it looks like you guys just went on this great trip. That is amazing. I'm so happy for you. Hey, I just partnered with this amazing company. I think it's like one of probably the most clinically validated wellness companies in the world. I know you're into wellness. Would you be open to taking a look? Like you keep it simple and use your actual voice as often as possible because you can hear the emotion. If I would have just typed that out, Holly'd be like, okay, stalker, and maybe not responded, right? So use your voice. Your voice is so powerful.
Time was going so much faster than we thought it would. Holly, you were right. Okay, so here are some more scripts. Take a screenshot of this, okay? These are just more ideas for you when someone asks, what do you do?
So Tanya, what do you do?
I help people support their health from the inside out and create opportunity by sharing what's helping others.
Could you say that? Could you say that?
Sounds very intriguing, right?
Yeah.
Dawn, what do you do?
I say something like, I work with women who feel like they've kind of lost themselves in the middle of life. Wow, I do feel that way. And I help them rebuild their health, confidence, and even create income if that's something that they're into.
And do you know where these scripts came from? They came from us knowing our person, right? So your what would you do? It comes from who you know you want to help. I help middle-aged men that have lost their energy, lost their luster, and are looking to get it back. And if they want to create a passive stream of income along the way, I help them do that too. Like whatever your pain points are, that's what you do. You are offering people those solutions in that stage of life. That's what you do. It doesn't have to be perfect.
So you know you're going to have people that say to you, is this one of those things? Like, unfortunately, they're going to say that to you. So here's the key. Don't get defensive and don't over-explain. Just stay grounded and confident in what you do. You're not trying to convince anyone. You're just really, helping them to feel safe, but stay curious.
Staying curious is huge. And so here are some things you could say, right? I mean, it depends what those things are to you. Tell me what you've experienced before. You guys, I don't know what we meant there. Let's bypass that one. Is this one of those things? I get why you'd ask that. I used to think the same way until I actually understood it. Is this one of those things? I partner with a wellness company, and what I really get to do is help women get results with their health and build community around it. But guess what? Here's what we really want to equip you with. You saw this, was it last week already or a couple weeks ago? Is this one of those things? You heard Dawn D. Nettles go over the 4 quadrants, right? Now, yes, we could get into the weeds about the four quadrants, but what is on this screen is all you need to know. So imagine, right? Imagine you're in conversation with someone and they ask you, is this one of those things? Imagine you being able to say to them, look, there's something called the cash flow quadrant. And on one side, you have employees and self-employed, and both trade time for money. If you don't work, you don't get paid. And on the other side of that quadrant, there are business owners and investors, and they build systems and teams so income isn't tied to their time. They utilize leverage in their life. And most people stay on that left side their entire life. If you stop working, your income stops too. So, what changed for me was realizing with one of those things, there are ways to start building on that right side. And even if you don't leave what you're currently doing, you can begin creating something that isn't tied only to your hours, but grows over time and gives you more flexibility. Sorry for all the typos in there, I see them. So the question becomes, do I have something being built that could eventually create leverage for me? I don't want to work harder, but I want to build something that will work without me. Imagine, like if you could have that. This, when you listen to these trainings, please know, like, don't continue to just lean on a doctor or a Sean Poe or a Tyler Daniels to talk about a cash flow quadrant. You guys, I raised my hand to do a cash flow quadrant training so that I would be equipped with the knowledge. And now I can just spew it off my tongue like that. It's not hard. You just have to be willing to like actually say it yourself, to actually read what it is yourself. That is the best thing you could give somebody when they ask, is this one of those things? Because you're now opening their mindset to something they didn't think about.
And I love the way this just rolls off your tongue. And I know the reason that it does is because you've practiced it.
Yes.
And you've said it over and over and over. So maybe the difference between you and Tanya is just a little bit of time and investment.
Exactly.
Maybe it's just taking a screenshot of this, practicing this, saying over and over that simple thing. Because you guys, I've been an employee. I'm sure you are or have been too. I've been self-employed. I owned so many jobs. You guys, we still own a job. And it's a blessing and we're grateful for it. But with what we're building with LifeVantage, it's just different, right? So being able to talk the differences, you don't have to be a doctor, right? You can be just like us. You just have to find that time to invest and talk about that.
Boom. All right. So transitioning again, going back to words that work to create connections. So we've addressed who you're looking for, and knowing that you can be better prepared when you're asked, what do you do? And now we want to give you words that work in building your business online, in stories, and just in general. And again, like Dawn had referenced earlier, not about the products, the ingredients in the products, but things that really hit home to problems that people are dealing with today. So words matter because they don't just communicate what we do, they shape how people feel about what we do. It's evoking emotion. And I love this phrase, the wrong words make people put up walls. The right words make people lean in.
Can I share a really fast story?
Of course.
So I was on Protandem probably 6 or 8 years before I joined the company as a consultant. I was actually Sean and Michelle Poe's interior designer. So I spent a lot of time in their house. In fact, almost every time I get in my car, it tells me how many minutes to get to their house. If you can imagine, they just moved into their house. I think it's already going to be it's going to be 4 years ago because it was right before I joined. Actually, it'll be 5. Weird. Anyways, doesn't matter. So this is going to be a short story. So I took the product because Michelle said to me, I want you to take this product for the rest of your life. Will you promise me that after my grandma passed away? And I don't like to break promises, right? So I took the product. I was watching their life build, their travels, their amazing life build, right? And I had built to the top of another company. That's where I was at. But for me, I wasn't interested in the science. I was interested in pretty things like collagen. So that is when I joined LifeVantage. But the other thing I would say is Michelle never really asked me to join her business. So who are you not asking to join your business right now? Who are you not offering that business opportunity to? She always talked to me about the science. And I learned this when I was building my previous company. I kept talking to a friend. I kept talking to a friend. I'm like, join me, join me, join me. So much fun, pretty, makeup, skincare, making lots of money. Come do it, come do it. I
Words.
went to an event and I learned that we could advocate and we could go to Washington, D.C., and we could ask for legislation, whatever. And I was like, that is the conversation I need to be having with her.
Mm.
The light bulb came on. I came home from that event and I was like, hey, will you meet me? I have to tell you something. We sat down. I said, hey, I've been having the wrong conversation with you. I've been talking to you about all these things that don't matter to you. And I remembered how important legislation is to you, and your family's always been in politics. And oh my gosh, like, do you know that with this company, you can go to Washington, D.C. and lobby for legislation? She's like, where do I sign up?
Wow.
But for me, it was
So
seeing
good.
with Michelle, seeing that skin change. And now I understand the science of the product I started taking 8 years ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but I don't want to drown people with science
Mhm.
because that's not fun to me. I'm an interior designer. I like to make things pretty. So the science
So
just didn't
good.
land on me.
I hope our light bulbs clicking for you guys. That was so good. So
Woo!
good. Okay, so just real quickly, let's look at what are people looking for today, right? As a norm, people are looking for better health. They're looking for collagen support. They're looking for peptides, longevity, energy, additional income, time freedom, choices. Okay, so we want those are kind of the buzzwords that we see happening in this space. So this is a busy slide, we know, but we'll give you some examples of how to transition this into maybe some posts for you especially. But if you can take a screenshot of this and kind of study this and let this become a part of your language in the way that you talk to others about what you do, in the way that you start conversations, in a way that you tell your friend about how your life is changing, right? We broke it up into opportunity, products, the community we have, and also health. So, like for opportunity, right? Our business doesn't move. We need more people in the boat paddling the boat. That is what we need. Brandon does this great analogy of the water is our customers, the boat is LifeVantage, the people in the boat that are paddling,
Rowing,
rowing,
maybe.
that are rowing, those are the consultants. And we need more consultants. And we're not going to find our people unless we're having opportunity conversations. So some of those, I found something that's helping me because a person helping me become the person I want to be. If you ever want to look at it with me, I'd love that. That's huge for me. I mean, that's what this has done for me. Funny how people come for their health and end up finding opportunity and a community they didn't even know they were missing. We share solutions that are helping people and build income by serving others. The most powerful businesses are built by people who care about people. So again, make sure you get a screenshot of this. And then I want to show you when we look at this.
And you're going to want tons of pictures. Like you're all coming to Vegas, right? Okay. So when you're in Vegas, lots of pictures of people, videos of people, not just the people on the stage. It's you with people that you work with, people that you're just meeting. It's videos walking around showing people the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the store and take fun pictures with products, take videos with products. You have to brand this build, and we'll explain to you what that means. But if you just do what we call batching content and have tons of images, tons of videos, tons of pictures, like Las Vegas, as much as it is an opportunity for you to go learn and all of these things, it's an opportunity to get connected to community and create content.
Mm-hmm.
Like that needs to be top of mind all day, every day. You're in your hotel room getting ready. Tell your audience, what are you doing? That is showing the opportunity. There's probably somebody sitting at home just like bored. And maybe they're not like super into science or they're not super into making money, but they're just looking for some friends.
Mm-hmm.
Show them that. Brand what you're doing and show them that. Maybe there's somebody sitting at home right now just thinking, gosh, I have no energy. Show that without just, you don't have to show Axio. Show your life, show vitality. You go for a walk today, show that. This is words that work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like what Dawn just said too, like if you look at this community quadrant in the bottom, it literally just sometimes takes just one sentence that you could use in your stories or use with a post, right? Community changes everything. And it's you with people in Vegas being together. And that sometimes can be enough that people that are watching are like, okay, it's time. I want to know more. I want to be a piece of that. I want to be a part of that. So taking that into Words That Work, here's just an example of a picture of us in
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana, thank you. And a post that could simply say, funny how people come for their health and end up finding opportunity and a community they didn't even know they were missing.
Ooh,
Like,
that is
that's all
so
it
good.
takes, right?
So good. You
That's
probably have
from
a
that last
picture.
slide. Yes.
You probably have a picture in your camera roll right now you could do this with.
Yep.
Take a picture, copy and paste that content. That is good.
It doesn't have to be from yesterday. You
Mhm.
guys, this was from years ago. You can go back, like my bankruptcy story that happened years ago. But people are facing that today. It's something I need to talk about again. So go to that slide that we had just showed you, right? That screenshot, Words That Work. Go through your camera roll. And based on, I love this saying, what in my camera roll could I connect to that to put that out there to my audience? To
The
speak to
other
person?
thing you could do really quick is put this picture in ChatGPT and say, hey, I would like to make a post today about the community I found at LifeVantage. Can you put some words, some trending keywords here for me? And it will create that caption for you. You can put this picture right in there and it'll do it all for you.
All right. So transitioning again, we're going to give you some more scripts. And these are just kind of some blank scripts in a way that are foundational that you could use in different areas of your business. So it's going to be one that's for inviting, one that is for a couple follow-ups. And then these follow-up scripts, I'm telling you, they're really, really good that you could use in almost every situation. And then also an idea to be a little bolder in closing a sale with people. All right, so this is a conversation script. And with this is about remembering again that momentum comes from conversations, and conversations start when you know what to say, and then you actually say it. You actually put in the work. So we're going to start with one of the most important skills in your business. And again, that's just inviting. That's inviting somebody to take a look. So here you're going to compliment or congratulate or both, right? I'm going to go to Holly's page and I'm going to compliment her on her, or congratulate her on her recent trip for spring break. It looks like they had such a great time. And then I'm going to say, Holly, I'm reaching out for a reason today. And that reason is I partnered with a wellness company that's doing some really groundbreaking work around cellular health and aging, and it's helping a lot of women in that middle age, right? I can add that into because I know my avatar. And the science and timing right now are incredible. We're looking for people to partner and share in the profit. I thought of you because I know you're a go-getter. I know you're a mom. I know that you're not done because I see how driven and how confident you are. And that's the kind of person that I want to lock arms with. Would you be open to taking a look?
Can you imagine if that message landed in your inbox with Tanya using her voice, not typing it out, but using her voice? I bet 90% of you, if not 100, would be open to taking a look.
Yeah. And again, timing is everything, right? So we'll give you some scripts too that help, like if timing isn't right, how to ask for that timing to do that again. Do you want to take these?
Sure. So once you get that conversation going, or maybe they haven't responded to you, you're going to need to, do some follow-up, or their pain points. And then you can say something like, earlier, you expressed interest in our opportunity. We have an open house on Monday night. Would you be willing to take another look? I'd love to have you as my guest. I recently sent a message like this and I included the line like, hey, I haven't heard back from you. You expressed interest earlier. And then the last couple of times I reached out, you haven't heard back. Do you want me to keep you on my list? Do you know what she said to me? Yes, please keep me on your list. I've been sick. Hello, she just gave me the next in, right? So don't be afraid of those follow-up scripts. How many people have you left unread? where you haven't followed up with them. Nothing intentional. We're all just busy,
Mhm.
right? Listen, I know you've got a lot going on. I'm busy and you're busy, and I just don't want to waste your time. I don't want to feel like I'm chasing you or stalking you. So if you want, I can just cross you off my list for now. And if anything changes in the future, feel free to reach out. That just gives them that, like, no, don't take me off your list. I
Yeah.
can see what you're doing.
Yeah. I just did the same too. There's a gal that I feel like I'm inviting her a lot. And I finally said to her, I'm like, Anne, I go, look, I don't want to be that girl. So if you truly are not ready right now, please let me know because your friendship matters more to me. And she's like, nope, I'm totally interested. Please keep inviting me.
You have to be human.
Yes.
Just like
Yes.
you would talk to your sister or your best friend. That's the same kind of conversation. And in that human connection is where people are going to be like, I want to play with you. I want to be your friend. I want to do what you're doing because you keep that human aspect.
Yep. All right.
Closing.
Closing scripts. Okay, so some closing scripts. I went ahead and added the 10% discount to your cart for you. So the reason we wanted to give you these scripts is because sometimes the closing can be the hardest part. Having that posture instead of like just sending a cart and like letting it float out into the iCloud land and waiting for them to finally do it. It's just having a little bit more urgency behind it. Great word. So I went ahead and added the 10% discount to your cart for you, right? Because that's what it is for that subscription. We also have a 30-day money back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. Go ahead and grab it. I'm here for you with any questions along the way, right? It's more urgency, it's direct. And then again, the follow-up can become easy. Hey, did you get that 10% off? You ready to make that decision? And then the next one, this is exactly where most people start. You've sent them the link, you put in there where you want them to start. This is exactly where most people start. I added the 10% discount to your cart to get you started. Let me know what questions come up.
You guys, how simple are these scripts? Are these things that you can use, put your own spin on it, use your own voice? But you guys, that 10% off for subscription, advertise that. Advertise the 30-day money back guarantee. Is there anybody on this call that would send a product back? No, of course you wouldn't. And probably neither would your people. Advertise that. This is just an easy thing to be talking to people about.
Yep. Boom.
Okay, I want you to think every single time the product hits your hands, you need to show up in stories. You guys, this is not fancy. This is not curated. This is simple. This is duplicatable. Anybody can do this. Do you know the one on the left that says the best nightcap? I take my collagen at night. I don't know. I'm weird. That's just the way I do it. And I take it with a Protandim and the PM. I just simply posted this earlier this week, I think, actually. This is the best nightcap, 10 collagen peptides, activating your own collagen production, lowering your oxidative stress by 40%. And the rest is so good. You guys, you know how many people have shared this post of mine? So many people, because it's so simple, right? Get on, if you're using social media, you can do this so simple. Here is me drinking my PD4. And I don't say, and you'll see also strategically, you don't see the label because you want them to ask you. You don't want them to Google it and come to their own conclusions because they're going to say, holy moly, that's expensive, because they don't know the benefits. They don't understand the 10 collagen peptides. They don't understand the activating piece. They don't understand that. You don't want them to be, you don't want to be creepy about it, but for all they know, I just took a fast picture, right? Same thing with the PD4. It does not say, I'm taking my LifeVantage PD4. No, I'm saying this product activates 14 key gut peptides with one drink. Prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, and digestive enzymes. Those are trending keywords. Digestive enzymes, peptides, that's something that people are looking for. That's going to pop up in their feed. This is really, really simple. And then the last thing I mentioned earlier is don't forget to brand the build. We're all in a build right now. We're all building our businesses. We're looking for those next people, those customers, those consultants. What we are doing here today is building. We are branding the build by showing up on social media. This was Tuesday night? Thursday night. Tanya and Sandy and I did a live or a Zoom. Hopefully you were on it. It was great. But I took some pictures and I posted it in my social media and I tagged people. That is branding the build. You know how many people have been like, hey, what does that mean? Can you send me this slide deck? Can you do this? Because people are seeing what we're posting. So when the product hits your hand, show up in stories.
You guys, Your business will never be bigger than you are.
Mm,
And in order for you to grow, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to feel uneasy.
every day.
So I know, like, did you say every time the product hits your hand, show it in your stories. Now, we know the company has assets. We know there are plenty of assets in the world that show the name of the product. But I believe with all my heart too, we need to get back to just showing us using it. And that doesn't look perfect. That looks messy. Show your messy office and you're sitting on the floor. I mean, we were going to sit on the floor to do this presentation because we didn't know how we were going to prop up the computer. Like it looks messy. So just you drinking your P84, you drinking your collagen, but you're not showing them what it is. You're engaging them in curiosity and then you're sharing how you feel. The best pictures, the best promotional pictures are of you with the product, not the company's perfectly branded image. No, because then in today's world, especially like she said, they're going to go, they're going to look, they're going to see the price, and they're going to not even know the value that it could bring to their life. It is you with the product in your hand, showing what it's doing for you.
And
Nothing trumps that.
it shows that anybody can do it.
Yes.
You guys, I don't have makeup on, or I don't have my hair done, or I don't have this, or my kitchen's not clean, or one shade is pulled in that picture and one isn't. These are things I see. Okay. But nobody else sees that. And it looks like, oh gosh, if she's actually building a business looking like that, I think I could do this. It makes it look simple. It's attraction marketing.
Love it. All right. Tell us in the comments after everything you've heard, okay? If you're still wondering what those growing are doing differently, then watch this again. But what is it? What is it that you would say? And we can't see the chat, but I'll answer it here in a second. If you're wondering what is it that those are growing in LifeVantage are doing differently, what would you say that it is? What's that one word that sticks out to you? Maybe I can look at the chat here.
Oh,
Yes. Go down. I want to see. Yes, consistency.
absolutely.
5 stars, everybody. Consistency.
Conversations,
Yep.
conversations.
Yep. 100%.
Can you do 10 a day? I bet you can in the nooks and crannies of your life. You guys, I've been working on building out some guides and some systems for my team, and I did not know that this launch guide existed. So shame on me, but you can build to executive without a launch guide, just so you know. Okay, now I know it exists. And so today we created a QR code there for you. So we didn't have to give you the URL, which is also there, but you can download it just by taking a picture of this screen, okay? And on here, you're going to see the tracker. You're going to see a memory jogger. Have you talked to all these people in your memory jogger? Talk to them again. Chances are I saw in the beginning of this call, people have been here 14 years.
Mhm.
Who did you talk to 14 years ago? Go back to those people. Their life is completely different now. Who did you talk to last year? Their life is completely different now. They might need these products. Number one, we all do, but like really need them. They might really need you to be bold right now and share with them. They might be facing a bankruptcy.
Mhm.
I bet however many years ago when that happened to you, you did not broadcast it on social media. Heck no, you didn't. But if somebody would have helped you build this business, could have that blessed your family at that time?
100%.
So stop thinking about yourself and thinking about other people. These people need us to stand up and share what we have, you guys. I do believe LifeVantage is the best kept secret in the industry, but that is on us to change. That is on us to become bold, courageous consultants and go out and bless the world. This company corporate works hard. I want to just say right now, those people are working around the clock. We owe it to them to invest more time and energy in the build. We owe it to them to show up authentically as ourselves and bring in the new class of consultants because they're waiting for us. The time is now. Like literally, you don't need another product. You don't need another incentive. You don't need a pair of sneakers that say LifeVantage. I promise you, you don't need them. They're fun, but you don't need them. You do not need to go to Whistler, Canada. Be fun, but you don't need it. You need to go have those conversations right now because there's probably somebody on their knees praying for these products. There's probably somebody on their knees praying for this business. So shine your light and go bless the world.
Love you guys.
Gosh. Woo! Oh my goodness. Yes. High five to you ladies. Oh my gosh. What incredible. Yes. Everyone blow it up in the chat. And thank these incredible ladies for taking time out of their Saturday mornings away from their families to pour their love, heart, and souls into you. I know that they've been preparing all week for this and taking a lot of time to be intentional with what they brought to you today. And I was seeing in the comments, I mean, there were things that you guys were sharing that people were literally saying, I needed to hear that today. I needed to hear that today. I'm so glad that I was on this today. Jennifer, oh my gosh, you guys, Jennifer literally shared that she used your closing script. She said, I just used that close script with one of my gals who asked for the cart again because her life got busy.
Yes.
Again, we feel this need to like fill in the gaps sometimes and create this narrative when people don't get back with us or they don't do what they say they're going to do. But the truth is, most people don't do what they say they're going to do, and they don't understand or see the value in what it is that we have 90% of the times because they're not using the product yet. They haven't seen it, they haven't been a part of it, they haven't felt it, touched it, all the things. And so it's easy for them to lose sight of it. That's why following up is so important. And I think that the scripts that you ladies shared, and again, we're not saying you have to use those scripts. We're simply saying that if something's working for you, then don't reinvent the wheel. Keep doing what's working for you. But if you find yourself struggling or you're needing a different take on something or you're feeling at a loss for words, then leverage these tools. And like Dawn said, oh my gosh, she's an executive and didn't even realize the company had these tools available. And that's not a bad thing. She's literally like I don't think you guys understand how many tools the company has. And I couldn't have said it more perfect on everything that you literally just summed up there on the end. When you guys were talking about momentum, when you first kick things off and you use that MOM acronym, which I think is so genius. But you're like, stop looking for LifeVantage to create that momentum in your business. I love that you said that. So the momentum is only going to happen based on the actions that you take, which you are in complete control of. I am in complete control of whether or not I decide to do anything in my business today or not. That's on me, right? It's not up for the company to come up with another social asset or another script or come out with another product or like you said, we need to be willing to take better ownership of a business that we chose to be a part of. And like you said, this is still a well-kept secret. And I'm tired of saying that it's a well-kept secret. I want everyone to know about LifeVantage. Everybody should have Protandim, NRF2, and collagen on their counters, right? So, and I thought that I took notes. I had notes all up around on my paper and taking different things. I think you ladies just did a phenomenal job. So again, don't forget to follow up. 3 years. 3 years? How many of us, after the person hasn't responded, right? After even just a month or a couple messages, we're like, oh, okay. And you move on. People's time in their life is constantly changing. Every 4 to 6 months, life is changing for them. And again, like you said, Dawn, it's never about us. It's never about us. We have a way to make it about us, but it's never about us. It's about them being at high noon, we like to say, when it's the right time for them. And when they're ready to see it, you're going to be there because you stuck with it, right? So I love that. Just so many things. I love it. Words that actually work. Always get their info. That is a great, anytime you're talking to someone who would be someone say, hey, you said something to me the other day. Well, you can't just text them or call them back if you didn't get their info. Right. And I think people make that miss. Like you said, yeah, right, well, exactly. Tanya, you're like, look, again, we let fear because we don't want to seem pushy. And so we're like, oh, here, take my number. Or we go and get these business cards printed up and we're like, oh, here's my business. Business cards get thrown away. You need to stay in control of your business. So ask them, what is the best way for me to reach you? And when someone asks me if I have a business card, I'm like, you know what? I don't, but what's the best way that I can reach you? Get their information so that you can follow up with them. I love that. And also, Dawn, I love that you talked about your story with having the wrong conversation. You're literally talking to someone that you know would be great for this, but you took a step back and reflected and said, I'm having the wrong conversations. I need to make it about her and what she's going to be interested in. And when I position what we have in her light to where she can see it, it changed the game for you. And I love that. So I mean, I don't know about you guys. There's so many. I stopped reading. I couldn't keep up with all of them, so I apologize. But obviously, you guys are getting a lot of love, a lot of thank yous. As I said before, these trainings are recorded. Every episode has been different and unique, but have been jammed packed with so much value. But we know, and you ladies said it, at the end of the day, you can sit here and listen to these all day, every day. But unless you choose to act on this energy and the information that you have today, nothing's going to happen. So go back to the beginning. You create the activity and you create the momentum in your business. So, thank you again, ladies, so much. I greatly appreciate it. I've dropped the link in the chat several times as to where you guys will be able to find the replay. It's the Team Legacy YouTube channel. And I will go ahead and post the replay later today in all the channels. So if you were on here live, hopefully you'll be able to grab it from someone somewhere so that you can share it with others or go back if you need to take screenshots or re-listen. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, Tanya and Joe. Oh, yeah, everyone's let's take pictures. Let's take pictures. This is your moment, you guys. Take pictures. Like, what were you doing this morning, Saturday morning? Say, I filled my cup this morning. And people were like, what were you doing that you were filling your cup, right? Right? That's exactly what you do. I'm telling you. See? We're making it happen today. I love it. And we're ahead of schedule by 2 minutes. What? Drop the mic. All right. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for having and tuning in. Thank you, Tanya and Don. Exactly. Have yourselves a great weekend, everybody. Take care.
Bye,
Take care,
everybody.
guys. Have a great day.